Welcome, Capricorns, to your December 2016 General Tarot Forecast. I just want to give you guys a shout out because you have been, out of all the zodiac signs, my most loyal subscribers and have been viewing my videos more than anyone else. Capricorns are my most popular demographic as of right now. I don't know if that will change in the future, but wow, the Capricorn November reading that I did has gone up and surpassed 4,000 views, which makes me really happy, and that I am producing content that is applicable to Capricorns out there, and it just makes me happy given the short amount of time that I've been doing my channel that, any of my videos are getting that kind of views. So anyway, before I start on y'all's reading, which I hope to be every bit as amazing and transcending as last month's, I wanted to update you on some of the changes that will be happening on my channel and on my shop in the new year. So I'm going to be changing up the style of my readings a little bit in January. It's going to be really good changes. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but I also plan on doing an Introduction to Tarot series on my channel, where I talk about my experience with the tarot, where I talk about individual cards, what they mean to me, how I've seen them play out in the tangible real world. If that's something that you guys would be interested in, like this video or comment below and tell me how you feel. Okay, and also my rate for private readings will also be going up with the new year because of the volume of clients who have been seeking out personal readings with me, along with how busy my schedule will be starting in January. It was just that time I had to do it. But I did want to say that anyone who books a reading with me before then will retain the price with which they book. So if you guys want to jump over my shop and go ahead and book a reading with me with what my rate is right now, which is $65 for 30 minutes pre-recorded video or 45 minutes of face-to-face consultation through Skype, you can jump over and do that, and you will retain that rate for as long as you choose to use me as a spiritual counselor. So I just wanted to give that update to you guys. And without further ado, let's see what's happening in December for Capricorns. So last month, you guys had found yourself kind of dealing with the consequences, both positive and negative, of having started something very new in your lives. A lot of Capricorns found themselves either starting a new job, starting a new project, ending a relationship, and beginning a new relationship. There was a big theme of endings in the last few months for Capricorns, and you see yourself kind of transitioning into November and into December, and you're finally starting to see whether that was positive or negative for you. You're starting to see how that plays out for you. And it looks like there are some mixed feelings potentially, but I think that you guys are really where you need to be. You've got Temperance right in the middle of your reading, which says to me that you guys, even if things don't feel as if they're flowing or fluctuating with some sense of fluidity, that is something that you're trying to manifest. Like, you're trying to tie up loose ends. I can definitely see that as a possibility. You guys are trying to take all of the things that aren't functioning properly in your life or aren't giving you the proper results, and you're really trying to fine-tune those things and polish them into creating a more fluid lifestyle. Now, I can see this playing out in relationships as potentially seeking some kind of counseling, trying to find more spiritual common ground with your partner in an attempt to learn how to synchronize more your ways of being. It's like there's kind of a healthy aspect to this, because I think that a lot of Capricorns are realizing that you can't change people, or you can't really ask people to change. However, you can change your reactions and request the same of them to what bothers them, per se. I don't really know where that's coming from, but there's something about bothersome traits of a relationship that you're really trying to hone in on, potentially both yourself and your partner. In the relationship field, there could be a little bit of I wouldn't really call it unhealthy energy, but there's some kind of sense of structure or limitation. You've got the Devil at the crown of your reading, which is a Capricorn-ruled card, actually. And what does the Devil mean? Well, the Devil talks about temporary fulfillment and permanent restriction through that fulfillment. It talks about all of the things that we do as humans that soothe our ego and build up our ego while simultaneously kind of destroying ourselves and kind of imprisoning ourselves. Okay, like this can, and that's why so many times you see common traditional interpretations of the devil as, you know, drug abuse, manipulation, any kind of addiction that you can find in life, whether that be substance, shopping, just any kind of addictive tendency. That's what the devil is all about, traditionally. Okay, so, but further behind that, it's about the ego, and it can deal with guilt and how we try to cover that guilt with sensory experiences, and how we try to seek out physical, again, sensory experiences which can distract us from who we are, or can in some way prove that we're better than what we think. It's the devil's all about insecurities and how we egoically get past those things. So that is crowning your reading. So maybe, which is interesting, having the devil and temperance on top of each other, because they're very different archetypes, but in a way they're similar. They're kind of polar opposites, but, you know, the more things are different, the more similarities you can see, yin yang, all that stuff. So I think that a lot of Capricorns are feeling the need to get past their ego, or there could be someone in your life whose ego you're trying to get past. Maybe the person with whom you're in a relationship with has a very troublesome ego, and you're wanting to get past that, because it's like this person that you're with. Okay, this is coming forward really strongly. The person that you're with, when they're not in an egoic mood, or when they're not acting from egoic inspiration, they're like this beautiful person. This could be someone that you've known for a long time, or it could be someone from the past who has re-entered into your life if it's not someone that you're in a relationship with. This person is such a beautiful soul to you the majority of the time, but it's like when conflicts arise, or when they step into a phase of insecurity, or where they're having to kind of explain their morality, all of a sudden they're this extremely egoic being, and if you say one negative thing, even if you're trying to better the situation, if it's not what they want to hear, they become completely belligerent. There's a sense of belligerence coming forward in your relationship sphere, Capricorns, and you're trying to find the skeleton key to solve this, because this isn't something that you want. This is something that your past has seen many times, and you're ready to kind of step out of that, because you guys are taking so many steps over the last few months to completely change your lifestyle. So there could be a frustration with the universe. It's like, okay, I've made all these steps on the external world and to an extent on the internal world. Why am I still being faced with people from my past who have so many ego problems? You know, this is part of the Capricorn condition. I like to talk a lot about, you know, the struggles that each zodiac sign has. You know, Capricorns, due to your capacity to build such strong material, structural resources in your life, a lot of the time you'll have to deal with mental or emotional resources that are not so strong, to remind you of how strong your material capacity is. So potentially you can't escape this completely, Capricorn, but that's not what it's about. It's about honing in on your own ego and learning from these people who are being so egoic to you. There's something about this person or these people in your life who are, you know, being a major reflection of the devil archetype. There's something about that you need to take note from. I'm not saying that you're that way. In fact, I think a lot of the Capricorns have evolved past that. But it's like, if it were such smooth sailing, it would be perhaps easier to devolve lower back into the really egoic Capricorn level. So maybe some of these people are coming into your life to remind you of what no longer serves you, and to kind of be a reminder of how much you have evolved, because maybe you can see a lot of yourself in these people or in this person. And that can be hard, especially if you're in a relationship with someone like this, because it's really hard to change the devil archetype. You know, it's kind of how they say with addicts, no one can change an addict or make an addict stop their addictive tendency. It has to come from within. That's kind of how the devil is too. There's not really any controlling or shackling the devil. The devil controls and shackles. It's not controlled or shackled, okay? It's not a passive archetype. It's a very active archetype, and it projects onto other people. It doesn't like to be projected upon. Okay, and that can be another struggle for Capricorns. I'm not saying that you guys are control freaks. Capricorn is, though, stereotypically one of the more controlling signs. It is ruled by Saturn, therefore it likes to structurize and give limits with the hope that that creates more benevolence in the future. That's the whole reason that Capricorn can, and that's the good thing about that ability, is because you're so future oriented, and Capricorns are very good at living within their means. They're good at controlling their resources. They're good at building structures. They're good at attracting material abundance and budgeting, all that kind of stuff. And that's because of that mental ability to improvise healthy limitations and to structure things. However, if a Capricorn goes through a difficult experience and they evolve downwards, this can become kind of, it's not the best quality in relationships. I've known a lot of Capricorns. I know so many Capricorns. I feel like I've had more experience with Capricorns in my life than any other zodiac sign. And I've seen Capricorns who have learned to balance it very well. I've seen Capricorns who can input their controlling tendency onto their resources and onto the way they make money and provide the most amazing living for their families, help people get out of debt. There's an amazing capacity within Capricorn to really fix and transform financial situations, material situations, even build houses, stuff like that can really transform people's lives. But I've also seen Capricorns who want to do that emotionally, and Capricorns who perhaps weren't able to do that at the material level, or found themselves in a circumstance where all of a sudden that was taken away from them, and then they start trying to control people. They start trying to emotionally manipulate others. They start trying to make up for the material lack of control within their relationship sphere. And I'm not saying that even necessarily any of my viewers are that way, but that's something that's coming to the forefront in December for Capricorns. Either you may be tempted to evolve downward and start embracing this kind of energy, or there is someone in your life potentially who you're in a relationship with, or someone coming back from the past who is a very strong visual reminder of this tendency within you. Okay? This could have potentially been someone that you used to party with a long time ago. You've got the Three of Cups in reverse. That says to me that, okay, this is also another interpretation. Watch out for the substances. Watch out for booze. Watch out for alcohol during the month of December. There's something about getting together and toasting and the party scene that could have some negative implications for you guys. Be able to control yourself a little bit. Control your intake. There could be something like, watch out what you say while you're drunk or something. I don't know. That may not apply to any Capricorns. I don't know. Again, these are general readings, and it's really hard to address all the possibilities. So come get a private reading with me if you would like some specific guidance on your personal situation. There are some Capricorns who are saying things that they shouldn't when they're drunk, okay? Or when they're not sober. There are some Capricorns who are saying things that will come back to bite them when they're not sober. Watch out who you're around when you're not sober. There could be people who are trying to manipulate you or are kind of trying to get dirt on you. So watch out for the new friends that you're making in December. Make sure that you are reading them properly, or that you know them to some extent before you lose your sobriety around them. Because you guys are very tired of conflict. That was one of the reasons that you made a lot of changes in your life, was because you were trying to get away from the conflict. And you've got the Seven of Wands in reverse, so it's not completely gone. I feel like it's tapering off. There's not as much of it, but it's like you're not pleased with how much of it still exists, like the conflict with the day-to-day relationships that you have, or even self-conflict. There's very much a sense, we're getting into that lack of control again. I feel like a lot of Capricorns potentially don't feel like they're in control of a situation, and that's not good. That's whenever a Capricorn doesn't feel in control, especially, I'm not saying like Capricorns want, again, not all Capricorns want to be controlling other people, but it all starts with the self. Like Capricorns want to have a lot of self-control, and like you're your best friend and worst enemy in this case, Capricorn, because once you feel like you're out of control with yourself, you start trying to control other people, because this is a little bit subconscious, it's kind of like you can't control some of the conflict in your life right now, and it's very frustrating. And it's leading you to make new transformations. It's leading you to change even more. There are new chapters starting to, you've got Judgment. And again, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the reading, you guys have 3 major arcana cards in your reading: Judgment, Temperance, and the Devil. And I always say when there are 3 or more in my spreads, it's going to be a very memorable karmic universal month. It's going to be a big chapter in your year of 2016. And it's the birth month for some Capricorns, and it's getting towards January for the other Capricorns. So there might be a lot happening around your birthday. Again, watch out for the people who are coming to party with you. Watch out for what you do when you're celebrating your birthday. But I do think it's going to be a really great birthday. There could be some really, really memorable, fun parties. But you know who to invite. Like, be careful of who's on the invitation list. Is my only suggestion. But once you get past that, you guys are going to have an amazing, amazing celebration for your birth month. And when I say celebration, it's going to be what you want. If you want a quiet, relaxing time, that's what it's going to be. If you want a loud, ecstatic party, that's what it's going to be as well. So I see Capricorns also getting what they want in December. So that's really great, with all that major universal energy coming in. Okay, Capricorns are going to be getting what they want, and they're going to be getting what they deserve. That's how I feel about Judgment and Temperance together. Because Temperance is a lot about, wishes coming true, finally achieving that balance, finally integrating balance into your life. And when you do that, the universe rewards you greatly. Okay, and then Judgment is all about receiving karma, and it's all about receiving, if you've done well, you're going to receive abundance. If you've not done well to others, then you potentially may not receive abundance. So you're getting what you want, then you're getting what you deserve, whatever that means for you guys. And I see so many steps to trying to be the bigger person too. I see a lot of Capricorns feeling like they have to be the bigger person really often. There could be some petty arguments coming from the past, or something petty that you guys did not want to indulge in, and where you kind of every day have had to kind of be the bigger person. And you kind of would like to just have a very immature argument with somebody, but you are controlling yourself, and you are trying to be higher evolved. Yeah, you guys for sure are. That's another big theme. I've talked about it a little bit throughout the entire reading, but there's a theme of evolution too. And you've got that chronological order of Temperance and the Devil, which is 14 and 15. So, that whenever I see chronological major arcana in a reading, like, oh wow, I just realized you guys had the Magician and the Empress last month, and the month before that you had the Fool. So that's really amazing. You guys had the Fool in October, which is 0. Then you have the Magician, which is 1, and the Empress, which is, okay, the Empress is 3, okay. But still, it's the High Priestess, which is 2, and the Empress, which is 3. They're kind of 2 halves of the same coin in a way, but obviously they're very different archetypes too. But now you guys have Temperance and the Devil. So there's definitely a strong sense of evolution for you guys because of that chronological order that's happened, seeing the major arcana cards pop up one after the other. So that says to me that most of you guys are evolving upwards and you're not evolving downwards. But yeah, then you guys are definitely trying to do that. You guys are really trying to better yourselves from what the past has shown you. And a better interpretation, or a more positive interpretation of the Devil at the crown of your reading, would be to not be scared. There's a sense of, I feel like now that you guys have jumped into this new situation that you've been going through over the last few months, there's kind of a fear of the future, and there's a fear that the same circumstances are going to come about that you experienced in your previous situation. And I think that the devil might be coming up to tell you, you know what, you've been here before, you know what will take you there. You've just kind of got to sit back and let the universe take over. Don't fear what's coming forward. Don't demonize anything that you don't know to be a demon. I just kind of made that up. But don't make something bad that's not bad. Don't make something good that's not good. Just don't, and more than anything, don't be afraid that something will really turn on its head. Because you're getting what you want and you're getting what you deserve, just like Judgment says. And you guys have really made such an effort to balance things and to push forward on your path. So I think that you guys just need to move into December, ready to celebrate your birthday, ready to celebrate the new year, and focus on rebuilding your core strength. For Capricorns who exercise, it's time to work on that core. Not just for the aesthetic niceness of having a nice stomach area, but to spiritually build up your core, because that Seven of Wands is in the reversed. And whenever I see that, I feel like there's a lack of solar plexus and core energy. So maybe spend some time working on your core, and you can do that through your diet or through exercise. Just positive reaffirmation and searching for things that bring you passion in your life will all help you to build up your solar plexus and core. And yeah, I just really think it's going to be all in all a good month for you guys. It's going to be very karmic. You're going to feel a lot of energy around you one way or another. It's not going to feel barren, that's for sure. If you've not been feeling much lately, that's going to be changing in December. And it's going to become more balanced. Maybe if you've been feeling too heavily, it will kind of die back a little bit. There's going to be more balance. So anyway, I hope that this has been a really good reading for you guys. If you want to comment and start a dialogue about how this is playing out in your life, I always love to do that with you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would so much appreciate that, because there's going to be so many new goodies coming in the new year, new series, kind of a change up on the way that I do readings. I've got a lot of really fun plans. Also, if you would like to donate to my channel, it would be so helpful. It really makes all the difference in the world. You can do that by clicking on the top right corner of this video, and it says support esoteric healing. But no pressure, only if you guys feel called to. Also, if you would like to book a private reading with me, that will be linked in the description box below and in the top right hand corner along with the support button. I really hope that you guys have a fabulous, fabulous December, and I'm thinking about you guys. Namaste.